Hi guys, welcome back to Girls
Guys
and Gossip Podcast hosted by yours truly, Eva.
and Josh.
Let's get it started.
So, in honour of, a third of the name of our title being the gays, clock it, I really think it's really interesting to talk about coming out stories and the differences between like growing up being gay and straight and bi and any other sexuality. I think it's a really interesting topic. And I honestly think that, like, without trying to sound cliche, I do think that people don't actually realise how difficult it is growing up in that environment.
Yeah.
Like, you can have the most supportive, like, family, friends, all of this. It honestly means jack. Like, it really doesn't mean a whole load when it boils down to it. So, in terms of my own coming out story, I actually, surprisingly, only came out recently. So obviously, with a voice like this, an Ariana poster on my wall, and Ariana as my lock screen, it's no surprise, right? No one was shocked. No one fell to the ground or fainted, but in that way. So it's like, I came out literally like last month to my family. I'm 23, by the way, nearly 24, and I thought now's the time to say it. So I have 4 siblings, right? I'm one of 5, and I'm the middle sibling, middle child syndrome. So I have 4 straight siblings. Well, as far as I'm aware, unless they're going to shock me, and that would be a shock. So I would fall to the ground. So I am a very stubborn person, and my whole mentality, and I know it's quite toxic, is like they don't have to come out, so why should I? And like
they're not having to say they're straight, so why should you have
thank
to say
you. And like I've always had this mentality, call it toxic or not, I'll let you decide. If you were to list 10 things about me, being gay shouldn't be in the top 10 of those things. I mean, being a bitch should be in the top 3 at least, you know what I mean? But like it's
because having a podcast.
Yeah, that's number 1, the main thing. But like, no, actually, Ariana fan should be number 1.
Yeah.
Really. But like for me, if I'm listing stuff about you, I wouldn't go straight. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd say, we love a goss.
Bitch.
Yeah, the same. So, like, it wouldn't be one of those things that I would list about you. So, growing up, I was quite prestige about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very much like, it doesn't define, like, it is a part of me, but it doesn't define me as a person. Like, you're not friends with me because I'm gay. You better fucking not be, love. But like, I'm not friends with you because you're a woman. Well, actually, I do go on with the girls a bit more. I wonder why.
But like, it's not one of them. Like, I haven't openly gone out and thought I'm going to be friends with Josh because he's gay.
Yeah.
Like, it was nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It could have been straight for all I care.
Yeah.
It was more we just gelled, and that's what it was.
Exactly. So it's a bit like, and there are some people like that, and that's backhanded homophobia, but that's a different topic for another day, guys. But like, so in terms of when I first realised it, right, I would say I had the first inkling around like 14, which I think is quite late because other gay men that I've spoken to, they are like 7, 8. I'm like, what? If you're watching this on YouTube and not Spotify, I beg you just got the ick as much as I just did. That was disgusting.
At least you didn't say it.
Yeah, thank God. So
I'm just appealing to all audiences.
Exactly.
Right, we just look hip.
Yeah,
young.
we've got Jen Alpha on our team as well. But like, I was quite a late bloomer in terms of realising it. And then when I was in school, I had a girlfriend for like 2 years, Like, this is a lesbian. I think she's a lesbian now. So it makes sense. Like, but can I be honest? And you're gonna be like, Josh, you're such a bullshit. Like, I promise you I'm not. She wiped my beard. Like, I actually really liked her at the time. Like, genuinely, like, I really liked her at the time. Like, I don't.
So now, if she ever watches this, she's gonna think that she was the one that made you gay.
Yeah. And I'm like, she didn't. Like, I genuinely really liked her at the time.
Do you think she knew?
Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing. I always think.
Do you think
this.
she thought she was your beard, but you didn't see her as your beard?
Wow, this is the thing. Because she was the year below us in school, right? I'm not on the Epstein list.
It just shows we can't.
Yeah, we can't do anything serious. So like, she approached me, and I was thinking, I'm not being funny, right? We'd be there, listen to Aaron Gardner, Nicky. Trigger warning. Like, and like all of these things, I had an Ariana post on my wall while we were together. I'm like, surely you knew? Like, but yeah, like I really liked her, but I feel like because I was with her for like such a long time, like 2 years is a long time for a relationship when you're in school and you're kids, basically. Like that is a long time, right? So I kind of just put that on the back burner because obviously she was my priority. So
we love a man.
So like, I love how I'm more of a man towards women than actual straight man, clearly. Duh. And then the one time I really noticed, and the girls that get it. I was watching Ackley Bridge. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
You know Corey? I watched Ackley Bridge. I saw Corey. Do you remember his scene?
We'll put a photo.
Yeah. Do you remember his scene with like, I think it was Naveed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that. I met up with Keely the next day and I went, Keely, I'm bisexual. Because Corey from Ackley Bridge made me come out to my friends. So then I told my friends, no surprise. They were like, Josh, we fucking know. Like, you're not shocking, no. So then I'm kind of one of them that, like, ever since I was sort of like 17, 18, came out to my friends, but like, I've never hid it to my family.
Never felt like you needed to say it either.
Like, if we, like, you can vouch, like, if we've been on FaceTime and you've gone he, I'm not going to stand there and correct you. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I'd use the term they instead of he, which is always a clear tell sign. Also, if they say partner instead of girlfriend, it's also a telltale sign. But, like, I never felt like coming out to my family because, like I said, I'm a stubborn bitch. Like, I'm one of them. So, yeah, I've always had this mentality of like when I eventually did, I didn't want to like sit down and be like, Mum, Dad, I'm gay. Because they'd be like, what? Like, why are you like you don't, it doesn't matter. So I always had a plan to be like, Mum, Dad, here's my boyfriend. Like quite casual.
Don't ask any questions.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But then basically, while I was with my ex, Mambo, if you don't know. Gonna whip that one back. Like, I then had this sudden realization of like, I actually don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to bring him home because I feel like I didn't want the focus to be like, oh, Josh has come out when they're meeting my boyfriend. Like the not that they would, but
be two separate scenarios.
Yeah, like the attention should be on like getting to know him and oh, it's lovely to meet you. Because I feel like their first reaction would be like, oh, Josh, like, and I don't want it to be like that. So I literally had him on FaceTime and all of my siblings are in relationships, right? So I literally turned to my mum and dad while Love Island was on telly. And I was like, Mum, Dad, your final single child is no longer single. Here's my boyfriend. And they were like, hello. Like, it was really nice. My dad cried, embarrassing. And my mom just turned to me and went, no fucking shit. Like, she went, no shit. I was like, but like, honestly, not to get soppy now, to anyone that might be listening, well, you are obviously gay if you listen to this, like, honestly, like, just do it. Honestly, if you've got the confidence and there's a little inkling, because yet again, not to sound too dramatic now, life's too short.
Yeah,
Live who
100%.
you are, be who you are, because now me and my mom have sat there and slagged off men, we've slagged off my ex, and it is the most therapeutic thing in the world.
Do you feel like your like relationships change now, but for the
Oh,
better?
1,000,000%. My relationship with my like parents in particular has drastically changed because they will be like slagging off my ex with me, and we'll have conversations, and like I feel like I'm not hiding the biggest part, not the biggest part of me, but such a big part of me anymore. And obviously, in the past, it's kind of that elephant in the room because they'd ask like Millie and Ollie and Ben and Katie, like, oh, what's going on with so and so, your partner, and like, are you seeing anyone when they were single? They wouldn't do that to me because they'd know that A, it would make me uncomfortable, and B, they know that obviously I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I can't say I was going to say. A gay male to put it in form. Of course, I was going to say.
Homosexual.
No point, man. So I like homosexual, right? So yeah, I honestly think like, and the thing is, after I did it, and obviously now that like I said, me and my mum will bitch about men and stuff like that. I feel guilty in a way, and I always did because I always knew that I was very fortunate to have a supportive family. And I know that not a lot of people are in that situation for whatever reason it may be, homophobia, like beliefs, religion, or,
Yeah.
mentality, whatever the reason is. Um, I'm very lucky enough to have a family and like a support circle and friendships that support me. Um, so I always felt guilty. Like I knew that they would accept me. So if anything, that was kind of a motive to not say it, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
know that's a bad mentality to have, but like genuinely, if you can do it, do it. Like I honestly think it's the biggest reliever of everything. And like I think that yet again, not to get too political, like nowadays, like sexuality is fluid. Like it is fluid. Like I just say like gay and bi because it's the easiest way to describe how I feel when it comes to that. Um, but yeah, like honestly, but yeah, again, really weird. I was a late bloomer, but then again, I have a High School Musical bike, and I was 8 years old. And I had the Troy and Gabriella doll.
So true.
Right. So signs were there, like literally from day
I love the
one.
Troy and Gabriella doll.
Yeah. Like,
One of him in his little white tracksuit and then her in the red dress.
yes. And I remember I dropped in the bathroom, their speaker stopped working, and I was like, crying for like a solid 5 days. Like, me and Jada were doing dance routines to Super Bass by Nicki Minaj, and my dad walked in on me twerking. So it's been there since so young. But then, like, I feel like
It's not necessary. Like I think when you're a kid, like people are, oh, they're just being a kid, or it's not
exactly.
something like even in yourself. It's not something necessarily you just kind of
Yeah.
see it until it's
Yeah. And I think as well, like, I really hate stereotypes, I really do. But I think that because my family have got such a football background, and growing up, even though obviously High School Musical, Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande, like, I would play football, go to football, and I'd be surrounded by like so much like stereotypically heterosexual men and their behaviors and their beliefs. I just didn't think about it until I was then put in a situation where I was like, I love like stereotypical girly stuff. Like, I love like Ariana Grande and pop music and stuff like that. And obviously,
not
straight now,
clothes shopping though,
yeah. Oh no, ew. But like,
or makeup.
no, that's another thing. But like, I'm no James Charles out here. You know what I mean? Coca-Cola. Hello. But like, I very much was like in that atmosphere where like I can like girly stuff stereotypically, and I can like male stuff stereotypically.
Yeah.
Which is the same now. I listen to Anna Grande and then we'll go to the blues. Like it's one of them. But yeah, I just didn't realise it. I kept telling people that I fancied Anna Grande. I was like, yeah, I only listen to her because I fancy her. Duh. Meanwhile, in my room, I'm like, side to side. Like, doing the dance routine on the bike and all of that. Like, but yeah.
Do you think that there's any advice that you'd give to someone? Because obviously, you know, people might come across this and they might watch it and they might be in the same position. Or is there any advice you'd give to someone, as in for obviously from obviously when you knew to now, like any advice in life, kind of thing? Because I know, like, the world can be very harsh out there. Like, we've all seen it firsthand. And I think there's an element where, and I think it's like, it's really horrible to know that you have to do that, but you do have to kind of have a bit of a thick skin. And that's probably the worst part of it, because it's like, why should you? Because straight people don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You've literally hit. My main piece of advice is, once you've come to terms with who you are, very fastly adopt a thick skin. And I'm very fortunate, touch wood, to, like, you know, I don't or have not received that much homophobia compared to what other people do, because until I open my mouth, yet again, don't want to bring in stereotypes, I don't dress stereotypically gay. Like, do you know what? If you can rock it, good for you. But like, you're not going to see me in a crop top and booty shorts. I have got Adam Sandler and
only on Saturdays.
Duh. Like, I wear what I wear now. I have got like an Adam Sandler and Billie Eilish type fashion. I'm sorry, I'm in jeans that are 5 sizes too big and an oversized hoodie. That is my fashion, right? So if you were to walk past me in the street, well, you can, I don't know, like, I would probably get the estimation you wouldn't automatically think it. But I have, you know, when I went to Katy Perry and was dressed in an outfit that I wouldn't normally wear, last Friday night, Inspo, might let you put a pic in, because it was a sleigh. Someone did shout the F word at me. Jada went after him. We love an ally. But like, I think the world is cruel, and I've always had this opinion, and it may be controversial, it may be not. We might have pride, we may have gay clubs, we may have gay people on TV shows now. We are no further forward than what we were. I'm sorry, we're not. Like, I have had this opinion. We may be a little bit more further forward than our parents, but we're nowhere near the level that people think we are. I've had it before. I've heard people say to me, yeah, but you know, homophobia doesn't really exist. It does. It really, really does. You only have to go online and see people get shouted at in the streets or beat up, or even, sorry to make it even darker, but killed for that. And it's like, I can't go to some countries. I would not be accepted in some countries.
Yeah.
And I think that we are a little bit more accepting, but companies can't just put a pride flag in June and then be like, oh, we're fine now. It doesn't exist, because you do need a thick skin. You really do. But underneath it all, accept who you are, and all that matters is the people in your circle that accept you. That's all that matters, because at the end of the day, if someone's homophobic, 9 times out of 10, they're fucking gay themselves. So clock it. Like, it's the fact, if you've got such a problem with my lifestyle, it's because you're so repressed and you're so jealous that you cannot live my life. And it's like, stop flirting. Like, duh, stop it. But carry on. Like, but that would be my main piece of advice. Like, once you've got that thought of like, am I doing it? And then everyone's been through this am I gay quiz. Everyone's done the am I gay quiz if you're gay or bi or pan or whatever. And it's like, like, acceptance comes from within.
Yeah.
Once you've accepted it yourself, that is the main thing, and be your like true authentic body of self. That's what I'd say. That was very cringe, but like, you do, and don't let people outside, because the only people that matter is what you think of yourself and the people that accept you. Because why would you care about someone that doesn't?
It's probably gay themselves.
Exactly. So join the community.
I thought, wow, seeing as, you know, obviously you said you kind of knew from the age of like 14, obviously then going through school, you've obviously had to, you know, get on with that. at the same time.
Yeah.
What was that kind of that setting like? I feel like I'm just quizzing you now. Like,
No,
what was that
I'm
kind of
here
setting
for
like
it.
for you? Because I feel like, for me, I genuinely don't understand why teaching kids in school not to be homophobic is really controversial. Because I feel like you teach them about not bullying people for like their weight, their religion, their race. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm there like, you big to teach everybody on not being like sexist and all of this, but then you're not teaching them not to be homophobic.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, we're still quite young. Like, I left secondary school 5 years ago. That's disgusting to think. And it was not accepted. It was not a nice environment to be in. It was horrible. The same boys that bullied me got excluded on 3 occasions. If you're getting excluded for 3 occasions, why the fuck are you not A, doing something bigger about it, or B, doing something about it? And ironically, one of them actually, 2 of them have popped up asking for something. Irony. And another one I've met on a night out, and he was very apologetic and was like, I was very immature. Did I accept his apology? Did I fuck? I'm not accepting that. Like, you can say sorry for fucking tripping me up. I'll accept it. I'm not accepting it. Like, I would never accept an apology off those boys ever again. But
not when, you know, that time in your life was so, like, you were trying to process
horrible.
what you had going on yourself, to then have to deal with that as well, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading like a thing to say about like there is a lot of young kind of LGBTQ plus kids out there who already suffer with anxiety, depression, and to then add that on top, I feel like it ends up isolating someone a lot. And then it's like schools don't really, like, obviously it's been 7 years since I've been in school. It could be very different now, but I'm like from when like we were all at school type of thing.
How's it been 7 years? Oh my God, it's been 8 years for me. I said 5. That's even worse. That's disgusting. Oh, that's made me feel old, ill. Yeah,
well, obviously, I was like, it could be really, really different now. I think, like, in my school, there wasn't that, like, there wasn't that much around it. Like, you weren't, I think, primarily because we were a Catholic school. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah,
obviously, they didn't even do sex ed. Do you know what I mean? So, but I do think, like, obviously, my friend who I went to prom with, he was gay, but there was never like, I think because he was like friends with all the popular kids, there was no sort of backlash on him about it, like because everyone was just friends with him. But there wasn't that many people in my school who did come out. Like I think quite a few of them have now since we've left, but they didn't do it in school. And I don't know if maybe that's because they felt like they couldn't in school.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
But obviously, I just feel like the schools don't do.
No, they don't.
Well, they didn't when we were there, but there's not that much for them to.
Well, I remember, you won't mind me telling this story, you probably won't even watch it, but this one guy came out in year 9 and there was a video of him kissing a guy. The abuse he got in the PE changing rooms and everywhere was honestly disgusting. And at 14, do you really think I'm going to put myself in that situation? No. And I think you go through this thing when you're in school of like, these boys decided I was gay before even I decided that I was gay. And that was like this negative connotation of like, oh, you're gay. And it's like, I don't understand the issue. And do you know what? Call me, it might be a controversial opinion. Do I think that LGBTQ should be taught in schools? No, but I also don't think that sex ed should be taught in schools. I don't think it's a taboo topic in the first place. And I think that teaching 12 and we did it in primary school, you
know, really?
at the age of 11. Who the fuck is having sex at 11? Like that's
a bit
disgusting.
Too much. Maybe like by year 11, you do it then.
Yeah, because then you're going into a legal age.
Adult, but yeah, like I feel like obviously my school they didn't do it because obviously they believe you shouldn't do it till marriage. Yeah. But equally, I think again they might do it now. I don't know. I don't know the curriculum. I didn't learn sex ed because I know like obviously speaking to like you and Moll and all that, like you did like the condoms and bananas and stuff like that. Awkward. We didn't do anything like that. And then there's some schools where they did like they had to look after like a robot baby thing. Yeah. We never did anything like that. Obviously, we learned about like the organs that people have, but I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. Like we barely touched on the whole menstrual cycle. Yeah. Because that God forbid. Yeah. And then but there was nothing around it, and I do feel like obviously they believe you shouldn't do it till marriage. I get that, but at the same time, why are you teaching kids when it is like it's not legal for them to,
Yeah.
you know?
I just think like I don't okay, might get us cancelled for this. I don't think that you should teach it so explicitly in schools. Only in the sense of I don't think you should be teaching anything in that department until, like you said, you're year 11 and then you're off legal age, right? But when I was in school, they'd separate the boys and the girls. So I obviously went to a mixed school, right? And it's like, I think if you are going to teach that, you need to mention LGBTQ because it's a massive thing. And when people are saying you're forcing it down our throats, that is the biggest cop out for homophobia that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I think that the issue is that they're not teaching, well, as far as I'm aware, like we're both not in school so we don't know this, but as far as I'm aware from talking to my sister, obviously my niece is in secondary school, so I've spoken to my sister about this, but like they don't teach sex ed for LGBTQ. They're not talking about two men or two women having sex. They're just bringing up that that is an option for people. What is the harm in that? Because are we just going to sugar over the fact now? Like we're in an education setting, and what do you want your kids to be taught incorrect information here? Like, and I think that for me, it's got it. Your child is not going to turn out gay if you get taught about gay. Do you know what I
No.
mean?
And I think for me, like, not necessarily going into like it's telling them everything at that
Yeah.
young age, just awareness
Yeah,
around it.
yeah.
Because I feel like, you know what, you probably do have when you're doing that setting, you will have kids in there who are
Yeah,
LGBTQ.
of course.
And then it's like maybe that, like, even just to give them a bit of awareness of what the world is like.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're not going to go out and it's not going to be easy breezy and rainbows and happy this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like unicorns, fairies. It's not happy like that. And I feel
Yeah.
like there is that kind of element where you do need to talk about the elephant in the room because, you know, there's some kids who maybe, you know, don't know anybody else who is the same as them. And so they are very isolated, and then they're going to go out into the world not knowing what to expect or the backlash they could receive. Like, there are good parts and bad parts, and unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. But I do feel like there should be some sort of awareness just to give them a bit of, you know,
I think
reality.
100%. I mean, you taught like
but
all
if they
different.
do it to everybody, it's not so much isolating one person.
Of course. I think like you taught all religions, all like races in history. You taught like all of different categories. So why is it now an issue that like you taught about all sexualities? Like I don't understand it. Like I did RE, well, we called it RS, but whatever. And we learned about like all religions, and nobody had a problem because it's opening your mind to learning about how like people that follow like Buddhism, Judaism, and like Islam, how their like beliefs and systems are. And it's like you learn about like Black History Month, and you know, you learn about different history and stuff like that. And like, did you ever have to do like what was it called? Like it weren't health and social care. It was like some life lesson thing, like PSHE. That was it. It was called PSHE. I don't know what it stands for. Anyway, and it was like you'd learn about all different things about like disabilities and stuff like that. And it's like, why is it now an issue when it comes to sexuality? Because nobody's forcing it on your kids. Nobody's forcing it. Like if it's a curriculum, you're
That's like
masking it
saying
in.
because you're teaching someone about like Christianity or Buddhism, you're forcing that religion on them.
You're
That's not. They're just making them aware of how other people choose to live their lives.
Exactly.
Like what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're very quick to do like all of this, like don't bully about this, don't bully about that. But when it comes to, you know, a very big, because I feel like in schools that is a very heavy one.
Yeah.
So like, and it is the root of why a lot of people get bullied. Out of all of the things you could get bullied for, I feel like that's probably very high on the list.
Oh yeah. I think like if you're a parent and you're like basically acknowledging and what's the word? Like you're pushing hate, you're persuading your kid to be hateful. That is bad parenting on your part. Like if you're doing that, you are such a bad parent. And I don't want to hear any excuse of, oh, it's my belief, oh, it's my religion. Every religion has homophobia in it. So I'm not hearing it, and I'm not like hearing, oh, it's an age thing. That is my biggest pet peeve. It's an age thing. Doris, if I can tolerate you doing 80 miles in a 30, you can tolerate me being gay. Like, it works both ways, love. If I can hear your boring ass stories about how bread used to be 14p, I can tolerate you. You can tolerate me. Like, I just think, like, I've always had this opinion, and it works in schools and everything. Like, I'm not asking for you to like go head over heels and accept me. I'm not asking that. If you disagree with my lifestyle, good, but we can coexist and disagree at the same time. You can show me respect, like person to person. Like, for example, I don't know, like you might fucking be in punk rocker or whatever, and you love rock. I don't agree with that. Like, it's not that I don't agree with it. I just don't listen to it. But we can coexist in the same space and not be hateful.
It's them matters where you just, you just agree to disagree.
Exactly.
You're not gonna. Everyone in the world would be a very different place if everyone just agreed with each other.
Exactly.
But we don't, and that's just how it is. But you just agree to disagree on certain matters. You know what I mean? I don't see the problem.
Like, you could be a Trump support. Actually, that's a bad example. So I would judge you. Like, you could be a Tory, which is not much better. And like, I don't agree with your opinions, but we can coexist in the same space. And I'm not going to be
Tory.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that we're not Tories. But like,
just put that out there.
Yeah, but like, we can coexist in that same space and me be actually like decent to you without being hateful.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, everyone's a human being. Do you know what I mean? Everyone is a person. At the end of the day, with feelings. Like, it doesn't matter how you choose to live your life or what you like to listen to or what you like to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, how is that affecting you?
Exactly. Well, it's just a phase anyway. Had to end that on a little joke, you know. Oh, love it.
I thought we'll bring it back down again. We'll go back to our jokes.
Standard girl guys and gossip, you know.
I thought we'd do a little normalise or jail. So I'll give a statement and we need to decide whether we're normalising it or if we're sending them to jail for doing that immediately. Or we can do it, depends on the context.
Okay, I'm down.
So
are we saying it at the same time or are we going one of each? What do you want to do?
Should we both say it at the same time?
Okay.
And then, because if we're different, then you'll know that it's different because we've not said the same thing.
Okay.
So the first one is sending a voice note instead of texting.
Is this in like a situationship context or any context?
In any context. Just like in general, like someone sending you a voice note instead of texting you.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Right. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go, context. Yeah. Because, if I'm in a setting where I can't listen to your voice notes and I'm texting you back, do not send me another voice note because clearly I cannot listen to them.
Yeah.
If I'm sending you a voice note and you want someone back, that is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I can't do this whole one where like I'm texting you, I'm like, stop sending me, I can't listen.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it really depends on what you're talking about. Like if it's like, I'm sorry, if you've got like a long story, I ain't reading that. No. I'm not reading it. So just voice note and I can 2 times speed it. You definitely do that to me because my voice notes are long.
I know everyone does it to me because I haven't obviously I am crippled with ADHD and I'll be talking and I'll go,
yeah.
And I'll stop for ages. I'll be like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot what I was talking about. And then I'll get back. But there'll be a long pause and I'm just like, yeah. I understand people would want to,
Yeah. But don't send me a voice note if like it could be sent in a text message.
Yeah, like if I send you a voice note and you text me back, I won't send you another one because clearly you're not in a place where you can send me a voice note. Like, yeah. And do you know how annoying it is? I'm like, if I'm like in a lecture and someone sends me a voice note and I'm like, well, I need to check that they're okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to get my AirPods out, put one in, and then it'll be them waffling on about, and I'll be like, I didn't need to listen to it.
The thing is that I'm such a gaslighter because I do that. I do that though. That is my I am a voice note, as you.
Yeah, but I love a voice note. Sometimes I can't be asked to text. I love when someone sends me a voice note back. I think they're on the same page.
We're on the same vibe. I love that.
Right, next one is saying we need to talk, but with no context. Literally just dropping you a message saying we need to talk. 3, 2, 1. Jail.
Time. Absolutely. That is just as bad as like when someone puts your name and no other message. Yeah. I hate that.
Don't get my heart going like that.
Like at the end of the day, just say what you want to say. Like, and half the time, it doesn't even constitute that original message because it's not that deep.
No, you'd be like, "Dude, do you want to go here?" And I'm like, "Why didn't you just say that in the first one instead of, scaring me half to death?"
Yeah, I hate that.
Because I always think, "Oh my god, some scandals come out about me." Like, don't be telling me about it. Like, what?
Yeah.
The next one is blocking someone but still talking to them. 3, 2, 1, jail.
I couldn't say jail because I'd be a hypocrite. I think it really depends on the context. No pun intended, again. Because if it's like a friendship and you block them because you had a spur of the moment argument and you're trying to rekindle things, I'll allow it. If it's an ex, don't do it. I'm allowed to do it because I do, but don't do it. So I agree with jail. That's fair. You're such a hypocrite.
The next one is asking, "What are we?" after 3 dates.
3, 2, 1, jail time. That's like a 5-date minimum.
Like, why are you doing that to me? Why are you putting me on the spot like that?
Yeah. But also, I sort of feel like...
What if I'm just doing it for the free food? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? Valid. Absolutely valid. But the thing is, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm very clear on my intentions when I'm speaking to somebody. So if you're asking, like, my toxic trait is, if you're asking me, what are we? You're not listening to me. Because from my perspective,
need to ask me.
I know what we are. Like, I understand that some people can be quite, like, on the fence and they do want an answer. But, like, for me, I feel like I'm very open with what I want and what I am. So if you're doing that, you're not listening. 100%.
Having a fake laugh for work.
3, 2, 1, fine.
Normalise.
Yeah, fine, normalise. Absolutely. I do that on the daily.
Good books for people, do you know what I mean?
I do that on the daily. I'm sorry. I don't want it to watch this or come across it. The people I work with, half of them are not funny. You are not funny. The other half, absolutely hilarious. But
I feel like if you are friends with someone enough at work, they would know if you're actually really laughing at them.
My friend, like Sean and Millie, they know if I'm bullshitting you or not. But like, I'm not being funny. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot be really good friends with your manager. It depends what I'm saying. If it's retail, that's different. But like in a setting where I work, you cannot be friends with your manager. So I will whip out the free laugh because if it means that I get an easier job, then absolutely that.
Posting a thirst trap and pretending it's accidental.
3, 2, 1.
Normalise.
Yeah, normalise. Absolutely. I literally did that last night.
Any of mine are accidental.
Yeah, I did it.
I just, my finger slips all the time.
I literally did it last night. You didn't like it though, so you know.
I didn't see it.
It was me in Poland, but you know.
I don't think I've seen it.
I wouldn't say it's a thirst trap, but it was me looking fit.
I don't think I've seen it.
Why should I have
Otherwise,
it?
I would.
Oh, I'm going to whip out the receipts.
You know what it is though? I'm terrible for like, I flick through them all,
Until it comes to mine, you better look at it.
But you know what it is? Say if like I've gone on, like yours isn't the first one, it's the third one. Because I'm clicking through, I don't fucking look at the next.
Oh, I'm quizzing you from now on.
Like, just start sending them to me. Or tag me in it, but just hide my username.
Yeah, hide it in the corner.
And it pops up in the chat and that make it much easier.
There you go. I'll do
that. Saying I'm just a private person but oversharing over social media.
3, 2, 1, jail.
Context.
Oh.
Because I would.
Are we on about ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, context then. I'm checking my answer.
Yeah,
context.
Like obviously I feel like I would class myself as a private person. Like unless you're in my inner circle, there's no need for you to know my business. But then at the same time, like when my car gets broken into, I'll post that all over my story because I feel like everyone needs to be, because that's me doing my job for the community, letting everyone know to be vigilant out there. Yeah. There is a car thief on the loose, still on the loose.
We need more people like you.
Saw my chewing gum and all, tramps.
Oh, Raven.
But there's some things where I'll be like, I'll just post it because I feel like everyone loves a story time.
I think that if it's a private story, and this is why I've changed it to context, because me and you are quite private story gals, like we love our private story. If it's mine, that's a different kettle of fish. But like a private story, like I'm private, I would say I'm private in the sense of like only selected people that are close to me know my private stuff about, you know, what you're going through, relationships, all of that. But like on my private story, I will post like me drunkenly throwing up at the side of the street, or like
or from the pod, we just tell everything.
Yeah, now we just put it on
this is like another private story.
Exactly, same time.
Being offended when someone unfollows you. 3, 2, 1. Normalise.
Absolutely.
I get so butthurt to the point. If I'm following that person and they've unfollowed me, best believe I'm petty.
Oh yeah, I'm
go
unfollowing
through
you.
and unfollow you.
Oh, 1 million.
It's the same when someone doesn't wish me a happy birthday. When I wish them happy birthday, I hate it.
Exactly what I'm like.
I've got to the point now where I start making notes of who said happy birthday because I'm like, well, I'm not saying happy birthday to you then.
I do that at work. If we're like, because we do a collection for people's birthday. My birthday is coming up. Save the date, people. So then I'm going to find out who's donated me money to my collection. If they haven't given me money, I'm not giving them money. Same principle applies.
Yeah.
And I don't call that petty. I call it character building.
Exactly. And then the last one is calling it a situationship instead of just a lack of commitment.
3, 2, 1. Normalised. Because I am Delulu, okay? Like, let me be Delulu. I'm curious what you're gonna say.
I said jail. Because I think I'm someone though. I will do anything to not be in a situationship. Like I'm like, I want you to make it clear to me what this, not to be like, what are we?
Yeah,
I'm not what are we? To myself there. But in terms of like, if we're getting to know each other and it's gone beyond the point where it's been a couple of months, I'll be like, I will dead it off if I feel like it's heading towards a situationship because I'm like, you don't want to commit to me, so therefore why should I waste my time with you? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you just want your cake and eat it.
I think the like situationship though is such like a broad term, isn't it? Like people have different definitions for what a situationship is. So that's why I said context. No, I didn't say context. I said normalise. Toxic.
Do we want to do our song?
Absolutely.
Of the episode?
Do you want to go first? Because I'm really scared we've got the same song. Because you literally played
it.
No, you pick it because I've got a backup.
I was going to do as my, song of the episode, seeing as it's literally all I've listened to, it's literally in my brain, is Midnight Sun by Zara Larsson.
Clock it. What a banger. On a drastically different note, because we've spoken about being private, I was going to do it on Coming Out, but do you know what? I thought, Coming Out. But I'm going to do Private by The Kid Laroi. You need to hear that song. That's a banger.
And on that note, I think be loud, be kind, and don't let anyone make you feel smaller.
Clock it.
Bye. Bye.